So welcome back to another episode of Cooking with Lily and Generoso. I'm Lily.
I'm Generoso.
And last week Chien made rice and peas, and this week I'm going to make rice and peas as well. But it's going to be a tiny bit different, and we're going to serve it a little bit differently as well. So I'm going to make gam da, which is essentially fried rice with tomato paste and peas and eggs, and we're going to serve it with gà lục lak basically. So we've made the lục lak sauce before, and we're just going to do something very similar as well. Let's see all of the ingredients. Alright, so here's about 3.5 to 4 cups of cooked rice that's been in the fridge overnight. When you make fried rice, as a rule of thumb, you never want to use fresh rice, or if you use fresh rice, make sure that it's really dry. Otherwise, your fried rice will be too clumpy and soft, and that's kind of disgusting, and it's not as good. Good fried rice should have kernels a little bit separated, and should have like the tiniest bit of oil as well. We have extra virgin olive oil, we have oyster sauce, we have pepper, we have some tomato paste, we have some curry powder, we have fish sauce, we got sesame oil, we have soy sauce, we have balsamic vinegar, we have peas, we have 2 eggs, we have a red onion, we have 2 big chicken breasts, and then we have quite a bit of garlic. So the garlic's going to be split pretty much in half, and then half is going to go to the chicken and the other half is going to go to the rice. And so we're going to prep some of the ingredients, and we'll see you very soon. Alright, so we've done a lot of prep, and I've cut up a lot of onions. So we've taken the red onion and we've just sliced them into paper thin slices, and also have diced some. So all the thin slices are going to go to our chicken, all the dicing is going to go to our rice. I've minced the garlic, and that's going to be split half and half. And Chien has nicely beaten our eggs. And then he has cut all of the chicken into bite-sized pieces. And now we're going to make the marinade for the chicken. So this is basically almost exactly like the normal lục lak marinade. I'm going to take oyster sauce. This is one big kind of like soup spoon. So I'm going to do 2 soup spoons of oyster sauce. 2 soup spoons of soy sauce. One spoon of sesame oil.
Ooh.
Half a spoon of fish sauce, because of course this is always nice and strong. And normally at this point I put sugar in. This time around, just to kind of like balance the sweetness and the acidity of the tomato rice, I'm gonna actually add a tiny bit of balsamic vinegar. Probably just like about a teaspoon. And give that a nice mix. I'm also going to add a generous amount of black pepper.
That is very generous.
Even
yes.
Perfect. Give that a nice stir. You want to make sure that none of the sauces separate from each other. And that's now the lục lak sauce. So at this point in time, we can now move over to making the meat. So we're going to make the meat first, and then let it stay warm, and then we're going to make the rice, because the rice should be served really nice and hot. So we have a nice frying pan. We're going to heat that up on high. We're going to coat the bottom generously with oil.
Yes.
Yes. Get that nice and hot.
Those red onions kill you, don't they?
Oh yeah, yes. They always make me cry a lot.
Oh, sorry, Bear.
But they taste delicious. I actually like red onions a lot when they're cooked.
I do too. They have real flavor.
Even when they're raw a little bit. And I don't really like onions raw, but when they're sliced very thinly, they're very nice.
In a salad, they punctuate.
Alright, so I think that oil is pretty nice and hot. We want to make sure our flame is nice and high. First and foremost, we're going to take our onions, give them a nice fry. because the onions are going to be the base of the look-like flavor, as they always are. I also love the way, I love the color that they take on as they fry too.
Oh, that purple is beautiful.
And at this point in time, I'm going to take some of the sauce and take about a spoonful of it and just put it directly on the onions. Kind of help them with their color a little bit. Going to get my handy dandy chopsticks to help me, because I cook everything with chopsticks.
Doo-doo! Much to my dismay.
Should fry up and smell really nice.
Are we browning these onions?
Yes.
Very good.
And then at this point in time, I'm going to add about half of my garlic. Remember, you want to save the other half for the rice itself. A little more. So I think the meat should always carry a little bit more of the garlic flavor, because meat and garlic are delicious.
They are. A match made in heaven.
So we're going to continue to fry up these onions for a little bit, and I'll see you in about 2 minutes when they're ready to receive the chicken edition. So our onions have softened, and the garlic is beginning to brown. So at this point in time, we can add our chicken.
Do it!
It's chicken beast, as Generoso likes to call it.
It's a big chicken breast. It's a beast.
Chicken beast. Just want to first give it a nice fry with all of the onions. And then we want to take the rest of our delicious sauce and pour it all on our chicken. This sauce is kind of sweet and it's kind of savory, which will be a nice complement to the tomato rice, which in itself is it's a little bit sweet and a little bit salty, but it's almost more on the sweet side. Want to make sure we don't lose any of the sauce. Give that a nice mix, using your favorite mixing tool, of course.
The sticks!
In my case, it's the sticks, because the sticks rule.
I love the wooden spoon. I don't know if I'm just trying to be more Italian, but I love a big, thick wooden spoon.
I like the level of fine control you can get with chopsticks.
It's true. I'm just not that precise with them, I'll be honest. But they do really get to the corners in a great way.
And at this point, I'm going to go ahead and add even more pepper.
Pepper!
All right. And we're going to let this fry until kind of all the liquid has dissolved from the base, and then the sauce begins to almost cook and caramelize onto the chicken itself. So I will show you that final product, and then we will move on to the tomato rice. Alrighty, so our chicken is nice and cooked. The sauce began to thicken a little bit, and I'm just leaving it on the side to cool. I'll probably turn the heat back on and leave it on low as the rice is finishing up, but now we're going to work on the rice. So I have some frying oil at the bottom of my wok, which we have not used in this kitchen in a while.
Yeah, we
this
get a
is
little...
a good opportunity.
It's true.
So adding the garlic and the onion, and for this rice, I'm bringing out my big chopstick. We want to nicely fry up these onions and the garlic until they're a tiny bit brown. Now we want to add a little bit of soy sauce. That's going to help make the rice really nice and tasty. And then we're going to begin to prepare to add in peas. Nice and bright green.
They are.
We might not add all of it.
It's a nice smell in the house, though. I mean, the red onions are kind of beastly intense. Just wash your eyes out every now and then, but wow.
At this point, I'm going to add about a tablespoon of fish sauce. So, you know, the tomato paste is really, really strong, so we want to make sure that we counter it a little bit. And now, we can add tomato paste. What I'm going to do is 3 big spoonfuls. So 1. And then that's 2. And that is 3. Again, we rarely use tomato paste in this household because it's the devil. Just kidding.
Well, I'm not a huge fan of it, obviously. I like fresh tomatoes. If I can't get fresh tomatoes, I get really decent canned tomatoes. Tomato paste, I appreciate, like for my beef bourguignon recipe, when you need something a little bit more intense flavor. But as a rule, I'm not a big tomato paste guy.
It's a little bit intense. So again, that's what the fish sauce does in terms of helping to calm it down a little bit. We want to make sure that the tomato paste begins to kind of coat the peas.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to take our rice. Remember, this is nice and dry. And add it in. Remember, again, this is leftover rice. The best fried rice really is made with leftover rice. And Chien asked me, could this possibly be brown rice? Yeah, it definitely could. It's certainly better with jasmine rice. I hate to say it like that.
No, fair enough.
I know it's not so healthy that way, but I think it tastes better.
Oh, it does. I love the taste of jasmine rice. I actually love brown rice as well. I like how al dente brown rice is, no matter how long you cook it.
Because it takes forever.
It does. It's not your quick after-school meal.
It's never slow. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to add a little bit more oil because this rice is just a bit dry and the pan's a bit dry. And we'll work on incorporating all the tomato paste in the rice, and we'll see you very shortly when we've done that. So the tomato paste is all nice and incorporated in our rice. At this point in time, I'm going to add a little bit of oyster sauce, just 1 twirl, just to kind of add a little bit of sweetness. Give it a nice mix. At this point in our wok, we've turned down the heat a little bit because it was really intense. We've had, oh, it actually just disappeared. We'll turn back on the heat again. If it will light.
It will act like a jerk. Here,
It will act like a jerk.
Let me do this. Turn on this one, honey.
Don't.
And now turn on that one. Did that not work?
Got it.
Okay.
It lit. So our heat should be right about medium at this point. Pardon the little technical difficulty there.
That's more than fine.
Some gas technical difficulty. Also like that Generoso lit that with the end of an incense stick, so it now smells really nice in the
I keep them next to the oven for just that reason, actually.
It smells really nice in the kitchen now.
It does. It almost neutralizes the aggressive red onion.
I know, the red onion is killing us a little bit, but I think it's because it's delicious.
It is delicious. All the best things hurt.
So I want to make sure that all of the oyster sauce gets mixed straight through. And at this point in time, we're going to add our 2 eggs that have been scrambled. And this will add a nice fluffiness to the rice. And also, again, take down some of that aggressive tomato kind of acidity. And at this point, now that we're adding the egg, we can turn the heat back up a little bit so that it cooks. Begin to mix it. And we'll continue to mix the egg all the way through, and I will show you the final product because we will start to be ready to eat. See you soon. So our tomato fried rice is all done.
Beautiful color.
The egg has nicely kind of just added a little bit of a fluffiness to the texture, and then also has kind of taken down the intensity of the red a little bit as well. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take a ladle of our rice. Just make a little mountain with it. A little tiny bit more. And then we'll get a ladle of our chicken, which I've started to heat back up. Put it just right next to the tomato rice. Get one more scoop of chicken and onions. And here it is. It is galuk-lak with Chien. Enjoy!